Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another gripping episode of Chick Flick Shuffle.
Indeed.
Unfortunately, Nokami wouldn't be here with us today. Couldn't, because he's at his mom's house and for Thanksgiving,
On the
and
other
they
side
don't
of the
have
tracks.
internet. He lives in Narnia, so he does. He lives in Narnia.
I thought we were getting C2.
We were, but you know C2.
Oh, yes.
He can't
C2.
commit.
C2 likes to grab a lot of balls and drop a lot of balls.
Maybe
And then,
someday.
of course,
Maybe someday.
as you can hear, we have Stray.
I think you guys know me at this point.
Yes, but we must always introduce you, Stray,
I
And
don't
Gio.
come up sometimes.
and me, Gio. We must be introduced. Because that is the way it works. As well as
And-
our gracious host, Ed.
And because I have to start introducing myself, because in the last podcast, Gio forgot my name.
Did we actually forget you?
I forgot his name, yes. I forgot which one he was using.
Oh, right.
Don't tell them I have so many aliases. That makes me look suspicious.
I only know 2.
All of my aliases and my 14 email addresses.
Because you keep forgetting
probably
the
do
password.
have 14 email addresses is a funny thing.
I need 14 email addresses to get into the closed betas. The more email addresses, the more chances I get.
I usually always get in the closed betas I want to get into.
I was actually going to get into the closed beta of the Old Republic, but I didn't know I was sent beta keys by BioWare until it was too late.
Ha! That's terrible.
They sent it
Just
3
like
times.
this movie.
3 times.
So, today, we are going to take a look at Maid in Manhattan.
Pure Latin music.
Yes, random Latin music here.
Like that one line in the movie. Yes, he speaks Latin. Spanish.
The movie was directed by Wayne Wang. I know. Isn't that a terrible name? Wayne Wang. And the story is by John Hughes, who is a little bit legendary until 1997, where he wrote Flubber, and that ruined his career.
Flubber's an awesome movie. What are you
No, it isn't.
Starring Jennifer Lopez.
You just said Flubber stars Jennifer Lopez.
No, I didn't say Flubber. I'm talking about this movie. So you got to keep up. We moved
We
on
were
from
talking
Flubber.
about Flubber. You never jumped back to this
I
movie.
moved up.
Well, he also did.
I promoted myself.
He also did Breakfast Club, which I can forgive him for.
No. Because I said everything after 1997.
Yeah, after.
Let's
Which
see.
included Home Alone 3,
Oh.
this,
Gilbert Taylor,
yeah, Robert Taylor.
Just Visiting.
Pain. One after another.
He's such a good writer, though,
I,
actually.
say, hold on, wait, what the hell is, on Wikipedia it says, as Edmond Dantes.
Really? He went as Edmond Dantes?
That's what it says.
Okay, I can forgive him now, too. Love me some Edmond Dantes,
We
boy.
all love Edmond Dantes.
Maid in Manhattan is a really poor, really adult version of a Cinderella story
Yeah,
with Latinos.
I was thinking that too when they got to that part where they dressed her up and she went to the quote unquote ball.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's. I can't. How can I not like this movie more than I not like the Cinderella story? That's amazing.
Really, I like this movie better than the Cinderella story.
I did not.
It was
Starring
long.
Jennifer Lopez.
Probably it was longer.
oh,
Oh
wait.
yeah,
I thought Cinderella's story was shorter than this.
a Cinderella story.
A Cinderella story is shorter than this.
Did you dust that whole movie?
Totally forgot about it. Dumb.
I'm sorry.
Yes, the movie stars Jennifer Lopez as Marisa Ventura. She is
Co-starring Ralph. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
I don't care. It's
Phineas. Even though that's not his full last name, apparently he has 3 last names.
because he's also Dominican.
I only have 2. He's from England. That's why.
That
Wait.
What?
Let me see. He's Ralph Nathaniel Twistleton Weekeham Phineas, or whatever the last part is.
terrible.
oh, he was Lord Voldemort.
What?
He was.
He does. He looks like Lord Voldemort. Yeah, I can see that.
Oh my God! No. He is Lord Voldemort. My God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at his stuff right now.
Wow.
Lord Voldemort.
That is.
Well, he
He's
had sex with
black.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
All right,
We mentioned.
everybody stop.
Mexican Voldemort.
Mexican Voldemort Jr.
Mexican Voldemort Jr.
That explains why there are no Hispanic people in Harry Potter. Because they're scared he might be the son of Voldemort.
Because it's in England, but that's a different story.
They eat burritos in England. They should have Mexican people.
Look, Harry Potter takes place in the early 90s.
All right.
That does not absolve its sins.
Yes, it does.
In fact, being that it takes place in the early 90s, everyone should look like they have steroids and have a bunch of guns and talk like, dude.
Comic books. They're wizards, so they're racist
Rob
as hell.
should have played Dumbledore.
They're racist. They're wizards, so they're racist. We're getting off topic way too much here.
We're kind of on topic.
Look. Her son in the movie is called Ty, and the actor's real name is called Ty.
Tyler.
Tyler, but still Ty. They didn't even try for this kid.
No, they didn't try.
No one tried for Jackie
1997
Chan.
John Hughes. He does not care anymore.
This movie's, like you said before, it's a Cinderella story about a maid who meets a rich white dude, and he thinks she's rich, but she's not rich.
Nor can she ever be rich.
Actually, at the end, she's on the cover of Manager Monthly or some crap like that, and
She wanted to become manager. That's why she became manager.
Yes.
this movie
You know-
just bored the hell out of me.
Exactly. You don't think that makes it worse than the Cinderella story?
That also bored me, but the only good part was that it was short.
That gave me a laugh. This kind of didn't.
Exactly.
This
This
one-
doesn't have anything.
This one's supposed to
anything
be a
going.
romantic comedy, but there wasn't any comedy except for J-Lo's friends who happened to be black, and
I didn't even think that they were comedy. Like, they had a big black lady in there.
yeah, that's their comedy. For them, that's comedy. That's
You-
that's comedy.
You know what? Usually it is. Usually a big black lady is either funny or sassy, has got an attitude,
She
or
showed
it's
up in
tragic.
like 2 scenes. That's it, right?
Yeah, she's a very mediocre big black lady.
Yeah.
They didn't get one of the good big black ladies to play the big black lady.
Wow.
Uh,
But
Jennifer
apparently, people really liked it enough to make ABC consider making a spin-off TV show, which never happened. But there
People
was
didn't like it enough to make that TV show. J-Lo liked it enough to pay for making that TV show.
there was one on Telemundo.
That's because they love soap operas, and this movie is a lot like a soap opera.
Of course, it's like a soap opera.
You don't go to the movie theater to see soap operas. That's the problem.
Until they make Days of Our Lives the movie.
Now, All My Circuits the movie, I would go see.
You have to pick the right option, remember. Pick the option he reads out everything in his letter.
I'm pretty sure the chair is going to choose all the options for you. It's the illusion of choice.
Option two.
But see, it's the Hillary Duff effect again. We're getting off topic from the movie.
We should just stop reviewing
All the
Cinderella.
other actors are so much more interesting than her.
Yeah, the characters.
No one here is interesting.
They were less embarrassing to me than the people in that other one. The Friend was less embarrassing to me than Cinderella story.
None of these characters are good. They all suck. Even though you're right, they're not as embarrassing as Cinderella. A Cinderella story, Cinderella. The embarrassing made it bad enough to be slightly more interesting than this movie. This movie it's like Jell-O. It's Jell-O without any flavor.
Is what you're trying to say. Like, it's not hitting that point where it starts becoming good, like a Cinderella story. Like, it's not, that movie isn't even good. It just hit the peak a little.
It's not bad enough to be good. It's not good enough to be good. Now, let's evaluate these characters a little bit because, I do take notes.
I want to talk about the dad that never gets named. The one that called and said, "Yeah, I can't pick up my son because I'm in Miami. I'm in Florida with bitches." She tells him, "Oh, he had a really important job to do in construction," and you never hear from him again.
Yeah.
Even though he says, "I'll pick him up for Christmas."
It'd be great if his dad was actually Shakespeare from How Stella Got His Groove Back.
God.
It's like, no, I'm dating this 40-year-old girl now.
I can't do a Jamaican
He's
accent.
too white. He's too white.
He's too Latino. That just makes him look white by default.
I'm sorry, I can't pull off a Jamaican accent still.
Yeah, Mom.
You want to cover for me here?
I think he just did.
There we go. Yeah, Mom. Red Stripe.
A lot like Hillary Duff. J-Lo also has the Sailor Moon complex because he sees her before she put on that dress and goes out, and they have that pseudo date at the park.
Yeah, but she mentions that too, that he saw her, but he just didn't care because she was a cleaning lady.
But this doesn't make sense. I see people I don't care about every day. If I saw them in different clothes, I would still know that that's them.
Well, apparently for him, that was a big enough change that he couldn't tell.
So, a cleaning lady almost catching you whip your dick out isn't important enough for you to remember what happened.
See, that's because you're not a rich white man.
Well, here's the thing. What's more believable, a jacket or a mask?
What mask?
A Cinderella story.
She didn't wear a mask. Did she?
In the Cinderella story with Hillary Duff, there was a mask.
I don't remember that.
It was like the domino mask.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, one of those cheap, not really masks.
Yeah, it was the Prince Charming that didn't wear a mask or anything. Right. But Yeah, that apparently that those clothes were a big enough change that he couldn't recognize her, just like Sailor Moon.
And then he gets mad at her at the end, like, how come you didn't tell me any of this stuff? You should have known. You should have known. I'm gonna choke you. I'm gonna choke you, Voldemort. I'm glad you died. This could be the prequel. This could be the Harry Potter prequel.
Even though it takes place after.
Yeah. Another thing is, the movie itself makes jokes about J-Lo's butt, and they all fall flat. Kind of makes me not want to joke about J-Lo's butt at all.
We're not. Leave it alone.
There was the one scene where J-Lo's like, oops, I almost sat on your face. He. And then she sat on his face anyway. Why bring it up? I'll tell you why they bring it up. So they can have a scene where the thing is stuck to J-Lo's butt. So they can just show you J-Lo's butt.
Magazine.
That was the entire point of that scene. And then later they talk about her perfect assets.
Exactly. I think I stopped paying attention around that time.
I stopped paying attention when I started this movie.
I mean, and then her big dream is to be a manager.
Well, it's better than being a cleaning lady.
Well, yeah, but
you know what's funny?
I could aim a little higher than that.
You know, as I saw the part where she took her kid to work, all I could think of was, wow, I remember when that happened to me.
Yeah, when I saw that part, I was also thinking, man, I remember when that happened to Gio.
You didn't know me back then.
But I know enough about you now.
Yeah. Except, you know, I wasn't a little kid that took speech classes. And we're not in New York.
Speaking of New York, another part that gets me, this just really annoys me. When she went Jenny from the block in the movie for no reasons. She's always trying to remind people that, hey, I'm from the projects. I'm from the ghetto. I'm hood. No, J-Lo.
We get it, Carla.
Exactly. You're just pushing this stuff on us unprovoked. No one's questioning your hoodness, even though we are all questioning your hoodness.
Like
just stop it.
The part where she's talking to that rich French foreign lady and her really, really leather-faced friend, and she was giving advice on what clothes she should wear. That little leather-faced friend was all like, no, you should listen to what I'm saying.
Yeah, let's talk about those two for a bit.
Leatherface.
The leather-faced lady, doesn't she play Jerry from Strangers with Candy? Because that's what she kept reminding me of.
I don't know.
The French, it's not French, British, I guess? I don't know. She's so desperate and crazy. She scares me.
She shows at the beginning acting like a total bitch.
Well, yeah, but she does it in a nice way.
Yeah. Sort of like, hey, you're below me. And, yeah. That's it.
And thank you.
And thank you.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, she took J-Lo's advice over Leatherface's.
God, Leatherface scared. I first saw her. I was like, what is wrong with you? It's the Jersey Shore.
Wow. You were scared by one, and I was scared by the other.
I was more scared by Leatherface than the other lady, who was desperate.
And when they would squeeze in that circle as exercise or whatever, that was the scariest. But no, see, the reason that the British lady is scary, other than the fact that she's desperate, is there's that one scene where her teeth were closed, but her lips were still moving like crazy. And I've seen that look on other women's faces. And bad things always happen when they do that. It's just, their teeth are perfectly still, but their lips are going absolutely crazy. Like, oh, that's not gonna end well.
Or those two French sisters that were constantly stealing stuff.
That was the best part of the movie.
He's like, hey, you better watch out. They're trying to steal your stuff.
Highlight.
She told her, you better watch out. You're trying to steal your stuff. And she just lets them do it.
Yes, that's the only laugh I got. Is at the very, very end.
When they got arrested for stealing jewels. And the dog and that guy.
Jerry. And Jerry is like every campaign manager in every movie ever.
No, you have to win. But emotions. No, you have to win.
And they're always bald. And they're always
wrong.
this guy.
And they're always wrong, apparently.
What about the dog?
Rufus.
Yes.
I don't know. The dog.
The dog.
You can't judge a dog in these movies. Not unless their lips are moving. Or they're being voiced by George Lopez.
The dog played a better role, played his role better than the campaign manager, I think.
Really?
Well, I would say that neither the campaign manager or Jerry, the campaign manager, or Rufus, for that matter, had much of a role to play.
I know. That's why I'm ranking them.
They couldn't chew any of that scenery up. It is a very poor script, in my opinion. The hotel that they go to, the hotel that J-Lo works at.
First one.
You can customize that stuff. Wait, what? I want to go to a customizable hotel. They're like, oh, this guy, he's a nudist, so he's going to be like this.
You're not rich enough, and you have to go there often enough for them to care. And then you got to be in the super rich suites, which they were in.
Yes. What happened to all the other kind of people?
Guess nobody cares about them. They're not rich enough.
Apparently.
And even though it's this big, expensive hotel with rich people and, customized rooms and stuff, when Ty asked what they were going to make for lunch, they said mac and cheese. That's so played out. How are you going to be a big, fancy, expensive hotel? And then for lunch, you're just going to have some mac and cheese.
Okay,
They might have.
We have been to a hotel before. They don't give us lunch.
Well, yeah. But this is like the hotel for important rich people.
So?
The best they can do is mac and cheese.
She said tomorrow's Saturday, so the chef is making mac and cheese or something. I don't know.
That's exactly what she said.
I think that's what she's I think that's what he's making for the employees. The rich people. I think the rich people tell them what they want and they make it. It's not like a buffet or anything. They're rich. They don't do buffets.
This is true. They have room service.
Exactly. So room service is how they get what they want.
So, since we're on the topic of what Ty is eating for lunch, let's talk about Ty a little bit.
Ty.
Now, in some ways, Ty is probably the best character in this movie.
Yeah.
But in other ways, Ty just doesn't fit together as a human being. He listens to Simon and Garfunkel. I had to Google Simon and Garfunkel.
I missed that.
And you know what? Here's what I saw. Okay? There's a picture. It says images for Simon and Garfunkel.
Mm-hmm.
One image looks like a black and white picture of Steve from Blue's Clues and a potentially gay rapist behind him. The second picture looks like a young Ron Jeremy and a potentially gay sailor behind him. The fourth picture looks like Mel Brooks and a potentially gay crackhead behind him. And then the final picture is like Luke Wilson with a potentially gay stalker behind him. That's what this kid is listening to. Someone with an identity crisis.
He's hip. He's a hipster.
And
he's gonna grow up to be a hipster.
Yep, a hipster and a politician.
His dad's a senator. His stepdad's gonna be a senator, and his Birth dad's gonna be like, well, I still got my bitches in Miami.
If J-Lo starts making more money than the dad, she's gonna have to pay the dad for support. That's one lucky dad right there.
Yes.
But he'll be around for Christmas in the sequel, right?
Let's hope there's no sequel ever and no remake, please.
I don't know about remake, because, we still gotta wait a few 20, 30 years.
Remake, you wait 3 months now. You wait 3 months and they're already casting people for the next remake. Ty gives a speech in this movie. And
Which one?
the first speech.
Oh, the one he screws up on.
At first, he's like, I don't want to do this speech. It's boring. I'm glad you know how boring you are. If you made the speech. If it's boring, that's your fault.
All of a sudden,
You chose the topic.
and then all of a sudden, he's a speech master when he talks to Ralph's character, Christopher Marshall. Yeah.
Because he believes that
And truth, justice, and the
paperclip
American way.
can somehow send all the nervousness away from your body.
Well, some people like to imagine everyone naked. Other people hold a paperclip.
Yes.
They
Oh,
tell us that this kid is a genius. That's what they tell us. She's reading a book called What to Do with Dealing with a Gifted Child or something like that.
yeah.
He's obsessed with the 70s, but he's so bad at science that he honestly believes that a paperclip is going to drive all the stress away.
Look, don't
That's not
question
gifted.
people's
Well-
methods.
Well, maybe it is gifted. The wrong type of gifted. Well, maybe
Are you trying to put logic into this?
this isn't an absurd enough movie not to put logic into it. Okay, me trying to put logic into a Cinderella story doesn't work. But this movie, there's no reason for it not to be logical. Speaking of logic, how much logical sense does it make for this movie to start with me and Julio down at the schoolyard? That's not stereotypical at all.
So she's from the projects. She ain't from the block.
As she keeps reminding us.
Really, this movie didn't really catch my attention as much as The Descent did.
As much as anything did.
Actually, okay movie.
How Stella got her groove back and The Descent were the only movies that actually kept my attention most of the time.
Like, as far as quality, no, not even quality. As far as entertainment, this is the worst one for me.
Yeah.
We just keep getting movies that are worse and worse on your list.
I don't know how we can keep getting lower. I really don't.
Don't worry. It's gonna go back up, and then it's gonna go back down.
We might want to look at M. Night Shyamalan here.
The last thing I want to talk about with this movie is the Latino mama. That's the plot point that they kind of foreshadow at the very beginning. Then you forget about it, and they bring it back up an hour and 30 minutes later. And her essential thing is, no, you're not allowed to be successful. You're not allowed to marry a rich guy. Those are the rules. Those are the rules of Latinos.
People from the block.
If you are marrying a rich guy, then you have betrayed all of us.
Or you
That is
share all the riches with us.
that is the opposite of all logic. She's right there with Cthulhu on the opposite of logic.
Food just destroys logic in general. Logic
Not on
around him.
purpose. It's just that logic fears him.
Yes.
So, really, this movie straight summed it up when he went,
Well, I'm on my way. I don't know where I'm going. I'm on my way. I'm taking my time, but I don't know where. Goodbye to Rose, the queen of Corona. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard. See me and Julio down by the schoolyard.